Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Come and take a seat on the Weeb Couch. I'm your host, Mason, and joining me as always...
Dan, hey, how's it going?
This is the first episode of the Weeb Couch, so it's looking pretty empty. I hope you'll stay a while. So, how this podcast is going to work is we're basically just going to, have a chat about our favourite anime and manga that we've been watching and reading recently. Some video games as well. Some comics maybe, and some films. So just basically just stuff we've been doing, stuff we like. Sometimes stuff we don't like, and and anything that you suggest. So why don't we get right into it? So starting off in the anime section is an anime me and Dan have both watched. Tokyo Ghoul. Now Tokyo
Classic.
Ghoul. Sorry, go on.
Classic.
It's a classic, yeah. I was just going to say that. Tokyo Ghoul, very well-known Seinen manga. So that's... if shonen manga and anime is aimed at teenagers, Seinen is sort of aimed at, older teenagers, early 20s. It's more an adult version of shonen. So Tokyo Ghoul is probably one of the most well-known Seinen of all time, along with stuff like Parasite. It centers around a kid, Ken Kaneki, who is a human living in an alternate Tokyo. In this Tokyo, humans go about their daily lives, but they are under threat of being eaten by creatures called ghouls, who look exactly the same as humans. Their only difference is they can only survive on a diet of human flesh. Now, Kaneki is a pretty regular guy, goes about his business. He's a bit of a nerd. He likes to read. He's not very sociable. So it's a little bit weird when a shy guy like him is asked out by a hot older girl called Rize. Now, this is all in the first episode. We're thinking this is too good to be true. She can't really be interested in him, and that's what I thought when I was watching it. And
she's MILF material.
Yeah, she's only meant to be like, I don't know, in her 20s. I think Kaneki is 15 at the start of the manga.
She looks like 30s.
Yeah. So I think we all knew that she was too good. There was something else going on here. There is. So it turns out that Rize is a ghoul, and she only sort of came on to Kaneki so she could take him to a secluded place and eat him.
I hate when that happens.
I hate it when women, am I right, guys? So Kaneki, by some crazy accident that, is later revealed to have not been an accident, but we're not quite there yet, I don't want to spoil anything, escapes, but he's badly injured. So to save his life, the doctors have to perform a very real and something that would definitely work in the real world. They have to put Rize's organs inside of Kaneki to keep him alive. And this makes him half ghoul. And this is sort of where the series starts. It's about Kaneki sort of learning to find his place in the world where ghouls eat humans and humans try their best to hunt down and exterminate ghouls because they see them as just predators. It's sort of like Attack on Titan, I guess you could say, where the ghouls are sort of the next evolution of man, and they've been made specifically to kill humans. That's sort of their only function, and it's really interesting. I really enjoyed Tokyo Ghoul. It's one of my favorite manga, and I will talk about the manga in the later section. It's certainly a great anime as well. I think you feel the same, don't you, Dan?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. Like, obviously, first season, average horror sort of stuff. Like, I didn't think the art was that good because the art style looked a bit iffy.
Yeah, it is by Studio Clown, Studio Pero, whatever you want to call them. Same studio who made Naruto, so it's that sort of art style, and I don't think they've become accustomed to not having to rush out episodes because all of the art in their subsequent projects have sort of been as rushed as Naruto's was, but with Naruto it was understandable because, similar to Dragon Ball, they were rushing out tons of episodes as fast as they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will give you that. The art style is not... It's nothing revolutionary, but I think it's not bad.
It just screams, was it like 2010?
Yeah, no, it was, 2014, I believe.
Like, 2010s.
Yeah, the 2010s.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then when we get to season 3, it's just, oh my god,
we both feel the same about season 3, which we will cover in a later episode. For this episode, we're just going to stick with season 1 and 2, which is where the original manga finishes, and season 3 and 4 is the adaptation of Tokyo Ghoul Rei, which is a sequel to Tokyo Ghoul. But for now, we're just going to stick with season 1 and 2. But yeah, there is a definite step up with Rei, and we will talk about that in a later episode.
Not in the anime version, am I right? Oh wait, no, Rei. Whoops, wrong one.
It's easy to get mixed up because you've got Tokyo Ghoul, then you have Tokyo Ghoul Route A, which is season 2 of the anime, but then you have Tokyo Ghoul Rei, which is season 3 rather, and then you just have Tokyo Ghoul Rei season 2.
But then you have Tokyo Ghoul Rei, which is like the manga.
Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul Rei is the continuation of the manga, but Tokyo Ghoul Route A still adapts the original Tokyo Ghoul manga. It's just called something different in the anime adaptation. Once again, it's sort of like Naruto, where you have Naruto Shippuden, which is still just a continuation of Naruto, but it's just called something different. So yeah, we're seeing a pattern here with Perry, Studio Clown.
A little bit. Right. So, first season, I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was, the characters were good, and they did have motive. Obviously, favorite is French boy, whatever his name is,
Tsukiyama, yes.
Quality.
He's
a bit of a weirdo.
Yeah, without getting too deep into spoiler territory, he does act. He's a strange guy.
Very strange. You will see. It's like as soon as you meet him.
Yeah. See. His thing, sort of to an extent with Rize as well, is most ghouls eat humans to survive. It's the same as us eating food. If we were gonna compare it to humans, it would be like a regular human eating only bread to survive, just to survive. But Tsukiyama eats a buffet every single time. Every single meal is a buffet. Extravagant stuff in his face and stuff. And he's great. He's a humorous guy. He's a humorous character, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even the humorous characters, like the comic reliefs in Tokyo Ghoul, are still dark because the show is bleak, isn't it? Really.
There is no happy.
Yeah, the show is.
Until you get to the end, there is no happy.
Yeah, it is dark all the way.
Oh, I forgot about a part. Oh no.
Yeah. The more you think about it, the more moments you're like, "Damn, did that really happen?"
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not even going to say characters' names. It's just I forget. I forget that happens.
God. Especially to the end of season 1. There is.
Yeah. Sure, at least if you haven't heard Tokyo Ghoul, you've heard of the scene. Probably.
Yeah. Everyone knows. Everyone who knows about Tokyo Ghoul knows of the scene we're referring to in the final episodes of season 1. If you haven't, then don't look it up. Watch the show instead. It'll prepare you, I guess. Don't go into it unprepared. And I think we should talk about Kagunes for a sec, because this is a seinen anime, which means it is sort of more about the overall sort of tone and message of the show rather than the actual content. It's a more character-driven story. Tokyo Ghoul is definitely a character-driven story, but this is sort of weird because there are a lot of fights in this show. I've heard people call it a shonen because of the amount of fighting, even though it is a seinen. Like, this would never be shown to teenagers. Kagune is sort of the main appendage of a ghoul, I would say. It's sort of like this thing that comes out of the ghoul's back. It's a defense mechanism, survival mechanism, and each one does a sort of different thing. So you've got Kaneki's, because he's the main character, he has like the sort of basic one. Tsukiyama, who we mentioned earlier, he has sort of like he has a more defensive one, I think you would say. It's sort of like a shield that wraps around him, but it also has. Sorry, go on.
Which character?
Tsukiyama.
No, I think he's way. I think it's more of a. I think it's more offensive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got like the huge blade, but then it also has the shell that goes around his. It like wraps around him.
Well, yeah, I guess, but if we're going off of just like the.
Yeah.
He
certainly uses it in a more offensive way. I'll give you that. He's certainly a very up in your face fighter, Tsukiyama.
Yeah.
You've got ranged Kaganes as well, so Kaganes that just shoot stuff. Loads of different types of those. The main one is Toka's. Toka is the main love interest, I guess you could say. Her Kagane.
Not until later on, though.
Yeah, not until later on. That's very important. She's a tsundere for most of season 1 and 2.
No, I think not even a tsundere. I just don't think she likes him.
I mean, yeah, I get the vibe from season 1.
Yeah.
But in season 2, I guess she sort of does develop more into a tsundere.
Oh yeah. But we're talking about season 1.
Yeah, we're talking about season 1 at the moment. Her Kagane is ranged, so it can like shoot like little shards of itself out, which is really cool. Surprisingly well animated, the Kaganes, because some of them are like ever changing, sort of glowing and moving around and stuff like that. Surprisingly well animated for Studio Clown, because at least in Naruto, sort of the jutsus were not great. Some of the hand sign animations and stuff were just really scuffed at some points. So it's good to see them putting effort into the fight scenes, because some of the fights are really cool. They're very gory and bloody and stuff, but that's just.
The Netflix censorship.
We all know about the beautiful Tokyo Ghoul on Netflix that just inverts the colours whenever there's blood.
Or like huge amounts of shadows that you like. It was like 7/8 of the screen.
Yeah, I do prefer the full screen of shadow though, because like if you invert the colours, you still see what's going on. There's no censorship here. You're not censoring it. You can still see what's going on.
It's like with Mortal Kombat, how you want to like keep it family friendly. They change the color of the blood to blue. So the thing is that YouTube can't detect it, and it kind of works.
Does is that in 11? Is that still?
Yeah.
I know they do it in the old games.
That's 11.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that doesn't make any sense because you still get like faces chopping off and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, I agree with you. It is just it's a weird.
It's awful. It's awful.
It is awful. Speaking of awful, let's get on to season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul Route A.
Not Ray. Ray's amazing.
Ray is season 3 and 4. Ray is really good. Season 3 is probably my favorite of Tokyo Ghoul.
Yep. Which I watched.
Yeah. Season 2 is definitely my least favorite.
Understatement.
Oh my god. Where to even begin? Let's begin with the animation. There basically isn't any.
Was there a budget? We don't know.
We don't know. I feel like the animators had to pay for this themselves. God damn. Kagunes are reduced to like red nothing. Like just red still images, I guess you could say. Just a red block that sticks out of characters' backs. Yeah. The fight scenes are awful. You just get like still images of characters moving through badly drawn backgrounds. The fights aren't as impactful either. Like they really skimped on the storytelling and the character motivation.
And there's one part where something happens to Kaneki, no spoilers, which is quite pivotal if I believe in the manga.
Yeah.
And it has quite an impact.
Mm-hmm.
But in the anime, it's there for like 7 minutes of an episode.
If that. I know exactly the scene you're referring to, which gets like 4 chapters in the manga of this change in Kaneki. But no, there's like 5 minutes. There's around 5 minutes, and it's like it's not even about him. Like it's not even focused on him. It's about the other characters reacting to it. So it's sort of,
oh my god, guys!
Yeah,
our reaction too.
Exactly. It's just a reaction video, and yeah, it's awful. Kaneki in particular, I think the main character is the one that's done the worst here. He's portrayed the worst, and the reason I'm hacking on the storytelling is because it's not Tokyo Ghoul. It's gone completely different. The studio went completely away from the manga on this, and I will talk about this when I talk about the manga, so I won't touch on it too much here. But it's completely different. There's literally no comparison between the anime and the parts of the manga it'll be adapting. But yeah, Tokyo Ghoul, a series of incredible highs, I would say.
Yeah, but there's just that one low which is so heavy.
Yeah. I think this anime means a lot to me because it was probably like obviously I don't want to say it's the first anime I watched because obviously I watched all the the Narutos, the Dragon Balls, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh.
True.
Yeah.
Like
but that was before I really knew what anime was, and I think this was the first one I watched where I was like, damn, I want to watch more stuff like this. And I think that's what got me into anime. It's a good thing I watched Parasite before I watched season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul, because I don't think I would have wanted to continue watching anime if I'd have watched them all in one. Parasite, and also good show. I bring it up because they're often compared together. They came out around the same time, same sort of storyline. Both great. But watch it. It's on Netflix. I don't know if you can get an uncensored version.
I don't think you can.
But if you want to watch it censored, it's on Netflix. The first 2 seasons are on Netflix anyway. The rest, the uncensored version is on Crunchyroll, I believe. Watch it on Crunchyroll if you're one of the 5 people in existence that owns a Crunchyroll account.
Or you could watch it legally.
Yes, legally. You could go to a legal website and legally watch it, which is what I would recommend. But we're not endorsing anything. We're not endorsing.
I mean, everything we're doing is legal.
We're all doing exactly. That's what I'm saying. Going to a legal website.
Exactly.
So that's Tokyo Ghoul, the anime. So I guess I guess we're gonna move straight onto the manga section where I talk about Tokyo Ghoul, the manga.
Go right ahead.
Because this is something I'm gonna talk about on my own, because Dan hasn't really got that far into the manga. If he's read it at all.
I haven't read the manga.
Yeah.
And I'm up to season 4 of the anime. I haven't finished it yet, but
and
I know what happens.
Yeah, we'll cover season 3 and 4 as soon as Dan's finished season 4.
Yep. Good luck with that. That's happening.
Yeah. So as for the manga, obviously I have read the manga and I love it. It's my favorite manga of all time. Mainly because, and I'm just going to talk about the second half of the Tokyo Ghoul manga here, because Route A does not do it justice. So after the end of part 1 of the Tokyo Ghoul anime and manga, Kaneki has been through this traumatic event, this traumatic sort of torture, without spoiling anything, at the hands of a ghoul sort of terrorist organization, which is I think that's a really good concept. Personally, I think that's a really good idea. How in this world you have the people who fight the ghouls, and then you have people like Kaneki and Toka who have the case that ghouls aren't that bad really. They're still people. But then you just have this terrorist group. Also, again, drawing parallels to Naruto, it's like the Akatsuki. They're like this villainous, shadowy organization. And Kaneki has been kidnapped by these guys. And when he breaks free, which is the beginning of Route A, and the beginning of part 2 of the Tokyo Ghoul manga, he does quite different things depending on your interpretation. So I'm gonna have you guess, Dan. Does he either A, set up a group of his own to take down the villainous ghoul terrorist organization that has put him through pain and trauma that he's never imagined before? Yeah. Or does he join that villainous organization that has put him through pain and trauma that he has never imagined before?
Are we talking about the anime or the manga here?
I'll let you pick which one is the anime and which one is the manga.
I know what the answer is.
So in the anime, he joins the terrorist group Aogiri.
Why?
Why? It's never explained. He has the generic stupid excuse, I need to get stronger so I can protect people.
I'm going to go to there. But why? Because
That's pretty much what he says, you know. And it's played in the anime as this big dramatic moment where he leaves all of his friends behind and all this, but it's just it has no weight. And in the manga, it does have weight because he doesn't leave his friends behind. He takes them with him on his journey to get stronger. And I love that. I love that. And the fights, the arcs, there are like 3 more arcs in part 2 of the manga, and they're all great. The anime completely butchers them. One of the arcs takes place in an entirely different setting than it does in the manga. But the same events occur, so it makes no sense whatsoever in the context of what it's doing. And what we were saying earlier about the transformation that Kaneki goes through midway through this series is, it's much better in the manga. It's way more impactful. I don't want to overstate it, but think original Super Saiyan transformation. Cast your mind all the way back to the 80s. It's that sort of impact. For me, anyway. For a mega fan of the manga like me, it is. And the ending is really good. You could tell that there wasn't meant to be a sequel, though. I feel like, Dan, I know you've seen the anime, and the ending is pretty much the same, actually, between the anime and the manga. You can tell that they never planned to continue it, I think.
Yeah, it didn't...
Like...
Strange.
Yeah, it was strange. We'll talk about that more as well when we talk about Ray. But yeah, that's all I can really say without spoiling it. Very, very good manga. Definitely pick up the volumes. The volumes are actually quite cheap for manga. So yeah, pick up the volumes if you want to read a really good horror action story with a great story. You know, I see a lot of horror anime that sort of are all about gore and stuff without story. Tokyo Ghoul certainly has the gore, but there is a good plot there as well. Moving on to quite a different sort of manga now, Dan, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go in the complete opposite direction and talk about a little indie feel-good manga called Please Don't Bully Me, Nagatoro. Be very surprised if you have heard of this, but you may have, since it's getting an anime.
It is, yeah. Spring 2021, it's getting an anime, so it's quite soon.
Yeah, can't wait. But yeah, it's pretty much introverted guy at high school, goes to an art club, pretty much a loner, not got many friends. But then he comes across an underclassman of his, which is named Nagatoro. She just bullies him. She bullies him to the end of the earth, and obviously there's a bit of a romantic connection because when her friends bully him, she gets very defensive about it. So it's pretty much just this some sort of romance, but not really because she's too stubborn to admit it and he's too awkward to say anything, you know?
Yeah.
But they do bounce off of each other pretty well. Some good references from other anime in there, like Attack on Titan and Dragon Ball. There's it's pretty much just a little bit of softcore, but nothing serious, nothing bad. And every time there is, it's just played for jokes. So
yeah, it sort of toes the line between romance and ecchi. I think it's not quite ecchi. Yeah, which is fine. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just pretty fun, really. I picked it up randomly, and haven't watched it that recently just because other stuff's been happening. But I've read most of it, and what I have read, it's really fun. It's just a fun little thing. Chapters are pretty short. It's just them going around day-to-day lives, you know, kind of bonding, if you would call it that. And obviously there's a bit of conflict within the art club concerning the president, who the main character, whose name is just Senpai,
yeah,
is very afraid of. But it's fun when Nagatoro calls her a certain name, which I don't even think I should say it on the recording. But
Yeah, just read it. Just read it if you want to.
Pretty sure it's like,
yeah.
Don't worry, Senpai. We'll beat that semen demon.
Yep.
Pretty fun. It's just an all out. It's just decent. It's good read. Very enjoyable, at least for me. So it's pretty much a slice of life. I'm not really good with genres and stuff.
Yeah, it is. I would call it a slice of life. Yeah.
But yeah, if you just want an easy to read, fun, sort of romantic, bullying manga, then definitely pick up Please Don't Bully Me, Nagatoro. It's ongoing right now.
Yeah, it is.
It's and I have high hopes for the anime because the voice actress for Nagatoro sounds good, and who voices the main character again? You told me this before.
Yeah. The senpai is voiced by I forget his name, but the same voice actor that does Deku from My Hero Academia and Narancia from JoJo's Part 5. So I think he could be good. I think he plays that type of character well.
Yes. Daiki. Yamashita.
Yeah. And again, I can't remember Nagatoro's voice actress name, but she sounds good. There have been a few sort of test audio put out, and she sounds great. And I think they will bounce off of each other as well.
Her name is, if you may have heard of her around, Kuro Sawa Tomoyo.
Yeah, doesn't ring a bell with me, but if anyone knows, if anyone recognizes the name, then there it is. Yeah.
Oh, and also she's bringing up the uprising of the tanned waifus. So always good.
we need more of those. I can tell you that much. Yeah.
And her friends are also hilarious.
Yeah.
One of them is just a copycat. One of them's the more dominant of the friends, and the other one's just she's a bit of a player with guys, because obviously most guys, like her, so she gets many people asking her out.
Yeah, there's always got to be one character in a slice of life like that,
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But she's pretty. She's just calm. She just doesn't really care, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd say it's enjoyable. Not much else to really say.
I've just started it, and I'd agree with you. From what I've read, it is funny. I'm not usually that into slice of life, but it is good. It's a good manga.
Obviously not as deep as Tokyo Ghoul, but
it's quite different. It is quite different.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good that we've got different range, different spectrums here. Yeah. If I were to compare it with a very popular series. If anyone's seen or read Toradora, it gives off that sort of vibe, that sort of slice of life, sort of friendship, sort of romantic relationship. So yeah, if you found Toradora good, which I know a lot of people like Toradora, myself included, it is sort of like that.
Nice.
Yeah. So pick it up.
Pick both up.
Yeah, pick both up. Yeah, Toradora as well. Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul, Toradora, Nagatoro. There's 3 recommendations for you. Pick them all up. They're all great. Is that all you had on Nagatoro, Dan?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll just move on to a brief comic segment. Some Western comics, and this is mainly just, I don't know if we'll do this every week. This is mainly just me wanting to rant about, not rant really, but praise the ongoing DC Comics crossover event, Death Metal, Dark Knight's Death Metal. So this is a sequel. Can I just say, DC has been getting better and better. As their movies get worse and worse, the comics get better and better, I think. Batman and Superman especially they're at their best, I think, ever, to be honest with you. I know Superman sort of had a resurgence in the early 2000s and stuff, but I think they're both at the best they are. And Death Metal is the craziest comic I think I've ever read in my life. It's a crossover. It's a sequel to Dark Knight Metal, which I think was released in 2018 or 2019. And this sort of... Dark Knight's Metal was already crazy. The multiverse... DC has always been focused around a multiverse, so loads of different Earths, different realities with slightly different versions of our superheroes. You know, it's good for spin-offs and special issues and stuff like that. But Metal sort of flipped it on its head, and there's also a dark multiverse, which is sort of an inverted mirror opposite of our multiverse. And the main villain of Metal was the Batman Who Laughs, who is probably my favourite DC character. He's sort of a dark... He's a dark version of Batman, obviously, who is sort of... He finally, in his universe, he finally kills the Joker. If you know anything about Batman, you know he's a bit of a wimp about killing people. But he finally... Yeah, he doesn't... Batman does not kill, despite his many edged weapons in the Arkham games. And his literal tank that has a cannon on top of it.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about the literal cannon on top. So the Batman Who Laughs... So Batman finally kills Joker, and when Joker dies, his body releases some of his famous Joker toxin onto Batman, but it's sort of a more powerful blend that completely twists Batman's mind and sort of turns him into this evil amalgamation of Batman and the Joker. So he's the incarnation of evil, basically. And Dark Knight's Metal was basically about him taking over our multiverse with an army of evil Batmen. So if the Batman Who Laughs is Batman and the Joker, he sort of recruits an army of Batman mixed with the Justice League. You know, each individual member of the Justice League. So there's a Wonder Woman Batman, a Cyborg Batman, a Green Lantern Batman, but they're all evil. And he wants to take over our multiverse, and he's stopped by our heroes, and that's the end of Dark Knight's Metal. And Dark Knight's Death Metal takes place in an alternate timeline where the Batman Who Laughs has won, and he's taken over the multiverse with the help of the creator of the Dark Multiverse, who is this like Lovecraftian cosmic being, like cosmic entity called Perpetua, who is sort of... If the Batman Who Laughs is the incarnation of evil, then so is she, you know. And they take over our multiverse. And Death Metal is sort of... It's ongoing. It's not finished yet. It finishes around January, with new comics being released every Tuesday. And it's about our heroes sort of fighting to take back the multiverse, and it's just a great read. If anyone likes comics, or if anyone hasn't been into comics for a while and wants to get back into it, it's a great jumping off point, because DC have said that the end of Death Metal will signify the end of the DC universe as we know it. So we already know what they have planned for the reboot. There's going to be some weird future set stories set in like a dark dystopian future before the timeline gets kicked back. It's a retcon, basically. The Dark Knight's Death Metal is going to be a retcon of DC, similar to what we saw in 2008 with Final Crisis. But just pick it up. Batman is great. He has a Joker dragon. Don't ask. Wonder Woman is great. She has a chainsaw of truth instead of a lasso of truth. Don't ask. Superman is great. He's been infused with the DNA of Doomsday, which is like the superhuman powerhouse that killed him in the death of Superman. Doom Man. I mean, yeah, we could call him that.
Super Day.
So, yeah, don't ask about Super Day. None of it's explained. It's about having a really cool time, really fun comic. Harley Quinn is great, as always. She's another main character. What
are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
No, I know your impression of Harley Quinn is from the movies, Dan. She's much better in the comics. She's really cool, okay?
And even the game trailer that she's going to be in looks far better than the full-on movie.
The Suicide Squad game looks just, from like a 1-minute trailer, it looks better than all of the Suicide Squad movie.
I never miss you, we know!
Yes, I can't wait for that game. So yeah, it has Watchmen characters in, if anyone's familiar with Watchmen, hugely popular. Yeah, yeah. Doctor Manhattan plays a big part in it, even though he's never actually featured, because the Batman Who Laughs kills him and absorbs his power. Now,
What?
yeah. So, if you thought that the Doctor Manhattan was powerful, imagine if he was just instead of if he was just like a douche who doesn't care about people like he is in Watchmen. Imagine if he was actually evil, and that's sort of where we're at in death metal at the moment. Very cool. If you like tons of alternate dark Batman, like there were 6 or 7 in metal. There are hundreds in death metal. If you can think of a DC Universe character, there's a dark Batman version of it. There's one where he uploads his. There's an alternate reality where he uploads his consciousness into a monster truck. So,
what?
So he's a sentient monster truck Batman, who's evil. So that's sort of what we're playing with death metal. That's sort of the where we're at. There's B-Rex, which is a Batman T-Rex.
Oh.
And they make loads of jokes, can you even throw a batarang with those arms? Stuff like that. It's a fun read. Get on it now, before January, if you're going to read it, because there's going to be a reboot of DC in January. And we'll see where that takes us. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about death metal because I'm really enjoying it. I know people who are reading it are enjoying it. So if you're not reading it, read it. It's on Comixology, as you know, every single comic book ever is. So yeah, read it. Love it. Let's move on, because I know Dan's getting bored because he doesn't really read comics. Games. Video games. We've each been playing a game recently, and instead of me talking, I'll let Dan talk now, because people are probably getting tired.
Okay, well, this is a game which I didn't have hopes for, because it's a kind of genre that I don't care for. Yeah. It is a park builder of some sorts.
Yeah.
And it is Jurassic World Evolution, I believe is the name of it.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm actually interested to hear your thoughts on this, because I really, really did not think this looks good. And I know when I said to you, can you sort of look at this game and so you could talk about it. You were like, ugh. But
like the visuals look amazing, right? Because nowadays most games look great.
Yeah.
But the kind of game it was going to be, I just don't really care about that kind of game. However, I was pleasantly surprised with it.
Really?
I actually enjoyed my time playing it.
Wow. Okay.
It's weird because it sort of has a tutorial, but it doesn't shove it in your face.
Nice. Yes, I love that.
It lets you go sort of at your own pace after the first 5-10 minutes of you playing. Because it says, do this to build this. Get your first dinosaur, make this, and then you're pretty much scot-free.
Yeah.
And then as you go on, you get mini tutorial bits of information instead of just having a 20-minute, half an hour sort of goddamn tutorial of it, or not at all, which I cannot tell which is worse. I think it's
and I get what you mean, because I really hate excessive tutorials in games. I kind of feel like we're at the point now with gaming that if you don't know what to do in a game, figure it out, because the amount of people playing video games at this point, it's highly unlikely that you're going to be playing a video game for the first time. And, unless the game has wildly unique mechanics or something like Astro's Playroom on the PS5, you don't need a tutorial. A game I've been playing a little bit of recently, Ghost Runner, that's like a half an hour tutorial, and it was just grating to me because Mirror's Edge came out in 2008. This is essentially the same game. I know how to play, but yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. So what you're saying is it nudges you in the right direction, but it lets you do what you want, basically.
Yeah, I think it's a good in between, because obviously you need a tutorial for kind of this kind of game.
Yeah.
You need one, but I don't think it does it as it's not as annoying as in most, which was already a good start for me.
Yeah.
So then, unfortunately, I don't want to pay for this game. So I got it on my Switch, which I've hard modded so that I get it for free.
Yeah,
so
that's how it's got to be.
Yeah. And
you know how expensive Switch games are. You know they just don't go down in price.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, it looks great. It looks amazing on PC.
Yep.
However, on the Switch, every time I look at it, I want to cry because nothing looks good on it.
Yeah.
But that isn't the game's fault. The game still looks great. It's the console's fault because I do not like the Switch. I will say this: I don't really like it.
Yeah, the Switch is limited. The Switch is definitely limited in its hardware compared to other consoles.
It's just a glorified tablet.
Yeah, it's a tablet that you stick two things on the end of.
Just make it a home console. Will be so much better because they could have done so much more with it.
Yeah, and if these rumors of a Switch Pro or a Switch or a Switch 2 or whatever are true, coming in like late 2021, which supports 4K, I think that that will be the safer option. One, I don't think they'll be able to do it handheld. It will.
God, no.
It's like before Cyberpunk was announced. Well, when it was announced, and people were saying, "Oh, make it for the Switch, make it for the Switch." You realize the console will like melt in your hands if you are playing Cyberpunk.
On the floor and ran Cyberpunk. Not even the game, just the menu screen.
Yeah.
It would go through the floor to the center of the world because it would burn through it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM. Like, come on. I've sat down into a coma with that statement.
I didn't realize that. That explains a lot.
It is fast. Anyway, it's fast RAM, but 4 gig is still 4 gig.
That doesn't help.
Yeah. Sorry, we got sidetracked there.
Sidetracked about the Switch. Okay, but the game itself is good. All right, I enjoyed it. There are quite a lot of dinosaurs to get, and it may just have been my nostalgia for dinosaurs and Jurassic Park because I love Jurassic Park. It is genuinely like one of my favorite movies. I just love it.
I haven't seen that since I was little. I can barely remember it.
I
think most of my dinosaur knowledge came from Dinosaur King.
Oh,
that's
for another time. That's for another
anime,
time.
Yeah.
We'll do that
we will definitely do that at some point.
But yeah, I actually enjoy it because nothing is tedious. There are like no microtransactions needed because like for most park builders, you're like, you build this. Now wait like 20 minutes or use the microtransactions. No,
that always rubs me the wrong way because it's like it reminds me of a mobile game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because most are.
Yeah, like if you're playing like Roller Coaster Tycoon or something, and it's like, wait 3 days or pay like a pound or like pay like $1 to get it now. It's like, bro, this isn't. I don't know. This isn't a game. This isn't The Simpsons Tapped Out. You know what I mean? It's not a mobile game.
You went there.
Yeah.
But yeah, every building you have is completed in like 15 to 20 seconds, and you have no option to skip it.
Nice.
Because they have this really amazing thing where like instead of it just being a still image, you actually see like work being done to a foundation.
That's really cool.
Like, weird like white sheet over these like metal poles, and like you see this ghost operating at like a lift, a drivable lift going up and down around the thing, and then it getting like work on. Obviously, there's nobody in it because you can't really,
Yeah, especially not on the Switch. That would just be too much.
I really like the details they make.
Yeah.
And I will say the dinosaurs, they look fucking good. Their animations are good. The AI is pretty good as well. And each actually has specific stats. And which makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest with you. That's really good.
the ones that are like known to be in packs,
Yeah.
or like groups, have like a very high, what should we call it, like social stats, so that they have like, it some like part of it is in the blue, then the rest of it is in red. If you get to the red part, that means that it's too overcrowded. On the blue is like the perfect part. Like comparative to a Triceratops would have a lot less numbers in them.
Yeah.
Like the blue part of the bar is less than the one they have in usual like groups, and I dig that. And especially for the carnivores, where you can have some carnivores which are completely solitary, but then you have others which can be in groups of like 2 or 3 at most. And I have one where there's 2 carnivores in it, and like the social bar is like on the edge of the blue.
Ooh.
So if there was one more carnivore, then they would probably fight.
Yeah. Oh, really? There's like fights and stuff.
Let's just say you don't want to put a carnivore and a herbivore in the same tank. I learned that the hard way with my first playthrough.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because everything makes sense in it as well. And you can you choose 3 factions when you first start it. You can either first start. You don't really choose 3 factions. You can go in between them. Well, you either focus on security, scientific studies, or the entertainment purposes.
All right.
Entertainment gets revenue, which you can get more stuff. Scientific is being able to get more dinosaurs, and security is making sure more customers arrive.
Oh, so
sure everything's safe.
Can I just ask, like, what's the process that you obviously I know you won't like have every dinosaur available to you. Like, is it like a loot box system? Like, how do you get dinosaurs?
No, I think pretty sure it's when you progress.
Oh, you just progress and get dinosaurs. Okay.
So pretty much how you do it is you go to these guys to go to a dig site.
Yeah.
And there's dig sites all around the world. Some have higher likelihoods of bringing back certain dinosaurs than others, so you pick those to get certain dinosaur fossils.
Yeah.
And then when you bring them back, you bring back the fossils. Then you like do some sciencey shit on the fossils to then get the genome to get like increase the genome for the dinosaur, which you know, if they have like 100% genome, then that's like a full-on copy. But it's like 50%, then it's half the dinosaur, half other stuff, you know, to fill it in.
I thought you were gonna say just half the dinosaur. You have just like a Stegosaurus torso dragging itself around your park.
No, yeah. But it pretty much just increases the value of the dinosaur if it has a higher genome.
Oh, I see. So there are like rarities for the dinosaurs.
Pretty much.
What is your rarest dinosaur?
No, I don't think it's not about the rarity.
I have the level 100 shiny Triceratops.
Holy shit, dude. God. But yeah, it's not about rarity. It's about if it's higher genome, you can experiment on it more so that you can like give it a specific like color palette and give it like higher resilience to illnesses.
Right.
Which, like, the game, by the way, your dinosaur can get sick and you can die from sickness and or starvation, which you have to constantly have the Jeep people, like the people who like look over the park, they you have to give them tasks to go refill the food in the tanks, in the enclosures.
Oh, right. Wow.
So it's like it actually feels like a park. Who would have thought?
Yeah, no, and you say that, but who would have thought? Because when I looked at this game, I saw it was coming out on the Switch, so I sort of looked into it a little bit, and the thing that it screamed at me was lazy. But what you've said to me is like anything but that. You've laid out all these things that you could do in the game, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought it was just going to be like a generic park builder with no sort of substance.
Oh, it actually, because everything is so quick, there is no proper waiting, because the 15 seconds you wait, you can be doing something else, like sending out a team to go do some digging, look up fossils, you know, experiment on them, or get another fucking dinosaur in there. You know what I mean? It's like it constantly gives you something to do. And there's progression. There are 4 or 5 islands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you get the first island, and when you level up somewhat, you can go to the next island, which you have to like fix the already established part of the enclosure in it, so that you can put dinosaurs in there, and then you can expand on that. You know what I mean? It's like everything is thought of. And one of the best parts, you know, the guy that is all philosophical and stuff.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he's in it.
he's actually in it. Oh my god.
Pretty sure he's in it. They didn't get Chris Pratt in it. Is that his name from Jurassic World?
Yeah, from Jurassic World. Yeah.
They didn't get him in, but they got him in.
No, that's pretty cool actually.
Either that or they got a voice actor that sounds exactly like him, but I'm pretty sure it is him.
That's cool.
He makes like snarky comments every time you do something, because like obviously he's against doing all of this, so he's really cynical on it, and it's kind of funny because you're doing something good because you're playing a game, but then he's like, "Oh well, you did this, well done, but not really good because we're experimenting on these things. It's inhumane, isn't it?" And then just leaves. I love it. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
So what are we saying? What are we saying out of 10 for Jurassic World Evolution?
For a game, for what it is, a part builder, which actually intrigues me and actually gets me playing it, I'd say it's a solid like 7.5 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah, that's way higher than I would have given it based on my. Yeah.
Which is good for me because I don't give 10 out of 10s to anything.
Yeah, that's very true. You don't.
7.5 is very good.
Yeah, and that's I was expecting like a 4 or a 3, considering my limited sort of what I've looked at of the game.
Yeah, obviously this is just my personal opinion. If you want to check it out for yourself, either buy it or watch someone play it to see if it's that kind of game for you.
Yeah.
But I would say it's a good time waster. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And also there are different camera angles. Either you could just do like a top-down view, or you can like actually do like a cinematic view of your dinosaurs.
That's really cool.
Really like realistic animations. So you know, I'd say pick it up. It's fun.
But don't pick it up on the Switch.
No, don't. If you're gonna pick it up, get it on the PC. Get it on PC.
Yeah, it's on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So just pick it up on any of them. I think it's even on Stadia. Now, I'm not gonna recommend you pick it up on Stadia, but
Stadia.
Yeah. So not Switch, not Stadia. Any of the other 3.
Yeah. Because I would say it's decently fun. I don't know what the retail price is.
I would imagine it's not full price.
Yeah, because I would say if it's full price, then I don't think I would pay full price.
I would never pay full price for a part builder, I would say. Wait for a sale.
I would say I'd pay like £25 for it.
Yeah, something like that. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
It has stuff there to do, and it's constantly giving you stuff to do. It's a little bit repetitive, but that comes with any part builder.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's a matter of getting there. And obviously, it's creative as hell. We can make your own part, you know? Yeah. It's like, you know, it's just nostalgic, really, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. And now, onto a game which I didn't have much hopes for.
I know your feelings about this game now.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, this is a much more recent game, actually. It only came out 2 days ago, I believe. Whenever the PS5 came out in America, which I believe was the 12th, that's when it came out. My game is Bugsnax. Bugsnax, a little indie game that came out. It is out for the PS5 and the PC. I'm reviewing it on the PC because, the PS5 isn't even out in the UK yet, which is where we are. 2, if I have a PS5, I'm not gonna play Bugsnax on it. I'm gonna play like Demon Souls or something. You know what I mean?
Demon Souls on it.
Yeah. So yeah, Bugsnax is. I know you didn't like the look of it, and I know you didn't like the look of it. It's not that I didn't like the look of it. I just wasn't interested in it.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I thought it was gonna be one of those games that comes out, nobody plays it, it passes by.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, but it's surprisingly fun. I'm sort of having the same reaction with you, Dan. It is sort of more my game. Think Slime Rancher. If you ever played Slime Rancher, it's like that. But instead of
how does it look worse?
It does look worse. I will get on to that.
Like next gen, how is it look worse?
Not only is it next gen, it's a next gen launch title. You've got games. It's up there with Demon Souls and Miles Morales Spider-Man. Two amazingly good-looking games. But then there's Bugsnax. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen PS5 gameplay, and I think my AMD 500 series graphics card makes it look better. I think it's better optimized on PC than it is on PS5.
Is it an exclusive?
It's not an exclusive because it's also on PC.
Why did I ask that? You just said
but I get what you mean. It's not on Xbox. Is the upshot? It's not on Xbox.
Yeah.
So it's this weird little game where you play as a glump. Your character is a glump, and all the sentient characters in the game are called glumps, which are like these weird little bean. Well, not little. They're like human-sized, like bean creatures that look like different. Some of them look like animals, and some of them just look like different coloured beans. It's quite weird. Think Fall Guys. Like some of them have weird outfits, and some of them just look like beans. And I'm only about 2 or 3 hours in, so I can't give a full picture of the story because it only came out like 2 days ago.
But the trailer says enough. I'm pretty sure. Some person goes missing.
The person. So you play a journalist that goes to this island. Who you're called there by this explorer who's found this island, and the explorer has found what she calls Bugsnax.
Credits.
Now, any guess on what Bugsnax are?
Just from the trailers, just creatures made out of food.
Yeah, they're snacks that are bugs. So
whoa, what a twist!
And your job, as far as I've gotten, basically, the story is sort of a little bit more relaxed. It's sort of more focused on exploration and completing just sort of random side missions for the glumps on the island. And many of the side missions involve you cataloguing and scanning in a similar way to No Man's Sky, if anyone still plays that game apart from me. So, like, you catalogue these creatures, these Bugsnax, and there are different ways that you can lure them in and capture them, and build up a collection. So, like, you have the burger Bugsnax, which you have to shoot ketchup out of a slingshot, and then like it attracts the burger to it. So then you can capture it, and you like set traps. And it's enjoyable.
Does it eat ketchup?
It eats the ketchup, yeah.
But isn't ketchup a part of its body already?
I'm guessing that it's a burger without ketchup, and it needs the ketchup to survive.
Yeah, because that would be the same as like if what I was saying was true. It like us drinking our own blood.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Some of the physics don't. Some of the science doesn't make sense, but you know, it's a game about.
They're food creatures.
Yeah, it's a game about creatures that are food.
Yeah.
For a launch title, like for a game that came out two days ago and it's still in 1.0, it hasn't been updated. It runs really smoothly.
Does it?
I think my main enjoyment is with the performance rather than the gameplay because I'm a nerd and I like it runs really smoothly. I have it on epic settings, like the highest settings for graphics, and it runs like 60 FPS smoothly. No bugs. There are no bugs in the game. There's no problems. There's no glitches.
You got it.
It's a smooth game. It has a really cool voice cast actually. You have actors such as Yuri Lowenthal, who plays Spider-Man in Spider-Man PS4, and Sasuke in the dub of Naruto.
Don't know about Sasuke, but I have done a bit of a Spider-Man game, and he does sound like a good voice actor.
Yeah, he has a good range if he can play both Peter Parker and Sasuke. two very different voices. I
That's
think.
how they speak.
Yeah. Yeah. You're annoying. That's his only line.
God, you're annoying.
And you also have, I forget his name. It begins with an M. I remember that because it may be Matthew something. It's not Matt Mercer, which is why I remember it begins with an M because he's one of my favorite voice actors. He's the dub voice actor for Saitama in One Punch Man. He's also in it. I really like him. I think he sounds good in the dub of One Punch Man. I think he sounds good in this game.
He is. Oh, you were close. Max Mittelman.
Max Mittelman, not Matt, but Max.
Yeah.
There are some other very famous sort of game, and there are some musicians in the voice cast as well. I can't tell you any of the names because they're not. I've never heard of any of the bands, but they are musicians, and they sound. All of the voice cast is solid. They're all solid. Yeah. The cutscenes, like the dialogue, is very. It's actually really funny. It's very well written. It's a funny game, and it's good to just get on there, complete a few random like side quests. They're usually like fetch quests or something. I haven't really done any of the campaign at all because I've just
get those side missions.
Yeah, I've just been doing the side missions because each side mission is really with a new character, and the characters are cool, and they're each one is different, and I like it. So yeah, there's really not much else to say about this game. I don't think it should have been a PS5 launch title for this very reason, that there's not that much to say about it. Other than it's a cute game that I will probably play for maybe 2 hours or so more. I might beat the campaign and then I'll never play it again.
It's just for me. Just compare it. Launch PS5. Bugsnax and just the Demon Souls remake.
Who's gonna buy Bugsnax?
The contrast is just phenomenal.
When you have Demon Souls and Miles Morales, I have my own like personal misgivings about Miles Morales as a full game, but you can't deny it's a good seller. It's gonna sell.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a launch title, because it's gonna sell consoles. Also with Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
I want to get that so bad.
Exactly, and that's what Sony want you to say.
Exactly.
That's what Sony want you to say.
Because they look like good games.
Yeah.
But Bugsnax is the opposite.
Bugsnax is like,
it looks like an Xbox 360 game.
Yeah. What's the equivalent of Microsoft Xbox Gold again? I think it's PS Plus.
Yeah, I think so.
It looks like a game that would be out on PS Plus. It does not look like a PS5 launch title. Yeah,
that was my main gripe. Obviously it's an indie game. They're not gonna have the same amount of budget. I get that.
It's by the developers of Octodad, Dadliest Catch. If you ever played that game,
that game looked better.
Yeah, it did. I know. And that's
probably because it had an art style.
Yeah, that was like 2015.
Oh, it was a while back.
It was a good game. I remember playing it. I remember playing it after I watched like being PewDiePie or something play it.
A young boy watching Markiplier scream at it.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
But Bugsnax, get it if it's on sale. Don't buy it now. If you have a PS5 and you're somehow considering this over Demon Souls, get Demon Souls. I wish we could review Demon Souls, but neither of us has a PS5.
Well, just wait. We'll do like one after Christmas or something.
Yeah,
because that's when I'll be getting it.
Yeah, when they're back in stock.
Yeah.
when the stock levels have normalized.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Bugsnax. I would rate it. I'd say a 6 to a 7, a high 6. Let's say 6.8.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Play it if you've got.
How about we put that up by 0.1 because there are some slight undertones to the game.
There are, a lot of people have. We'll put it at 6.9. All the Redditors right now know what we're talking about. There have been some suspicious sort of things, like theories about this game, only 2 days after release, and I sort of agree with them. It seems like the developers sort of have a very specific vision for the game, I would like to say. without breaking community guidelines. There may be Rule 34 popping up fairly soon. Let's say that.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's leave it at that because we don't want to violate community guidelines. But there are
You didn't tell me that.
There are some bad theories about this game.
But that's just a theory.
It's just a theory. But yeah, if you're looking for a fun game, and if you have like some spare money, get it on PC. Don't get it on PS5. My God, please do not. You are wasting the console's potential. Yeah, that's all I have to say. 6.9. Yep. So, what? I guess we're on to film. I guess we're on to our film of the week.
This is the big one.
This is what we wanted to talk about this week, I think. Just dropped on UK Netflix this week. We have both seen this film beforehand. We watched it together in the cinema when it came out in 2019.
That long ago.
It was like Christmas time 2019, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Whoo!
My God.
What an amazing movie.
What a movie. And I was skeptical at first because I'd read the Spider-Verse comics and I was like, there's no way they're fitting this into a movie. Well, we don't have to worry about that because there is a sequel coming out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Maybe multiple.
There's a sequel. Spider-Verse 2 is coming out in 2022, and then there are rumors of two spin-offs from this film that we'll talk about now, the first one, and more spin-offs, maybe even a TV show from the second one. Which is great because this franchise has a lot to explore. It's by Sony. It's not by Marvel. So the Spider-Men in it are not Tom Holland. Which I think gives it a good sense of detachment from the MCU rather than a bad sense of detachment, which is what Venom had.
Hey, I enjoyed that.
I know you're one of like the two people on Earth that enjoy the Venom movie. The other one being my 10-year-old brother.
I'm not saying it's good, alright? It's not like, oh, it's so good. The movie's amazing. It's just fun. I enjoy it just because it's fun.
And Spider-Verse is fun, but it's also exquisitely made.
Yeah.
It looks like a comic book, and I don't mean that in the 2009 Watchmen visual novel way. I mean it in the best possible way possible. We have two possibles in there because I mean it in the best possible way possible. Possibly.
Impossible.
It's great. Story centers around Miles Morales, who is a kid who, in his universe, again, it feeds into if you didn't get it by the title, it feeds into the multiverse idea. I guess I just really like multiverse stories because, we had Death Metal and now we have this. And in his world, Spider-Man is killed. And a Spider-Man from another universe, as well as several alternate versions of Spider-Man, come to his world to stop, are brought. They don't come voluntarily. They're like dragged into his world, and they have to stop. They have to stop the multiverse from collapsing, basically, without giving away too many plot spoilers. I won't tell you how that happens because it's actually genuinely interesting. But yeah, all the Spider-Men. Let's talk about the different versions of Spider-Man for a second. So you have Miles, it's sort of a story about him growing into be his world's new Spider-Man. We have old Spider-Man, who is canonically confirmed to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man from the 2000s Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, which I love. They're my favourite Spider-Man movies, personally. Then you have... so he's like sort of the mentor character to Miles, who's already been Spider-Man. I think he's retired in his world, in his universe. I can't really remember. And then you have Spider-Gwen, who's a fan favourite character. Gwen Stacy. So she's... in the comics, she's one of Peter Parker's love interests. In her universe, she's the one that gets bitten by the radioactive spider instead of Peter. She's really cool in this movie, actually. I really like her in this movie. Then you have, I think this is your favourite, Dan, Spider-Noir. Voiced by none other than the legend himself, Nicolas Cage.
Stop, fellas.
Now, can I tell you, let me just say, that was the perfect casting choice.
Yep.
The best movie he's been in for a while, let's just say that.
What other movies good one has been in? Color in Space.
Color Out of Space was good. Also 2019.
He had a good year then.
He had a good year. I think Mandy as well was 2018. The back end of 2018. That was also good. But there is cinema movies. We don't talk about straight to DVD movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Spider Noir, very cool character. Obviously, he comes from a 1930s sort of gangster movie sort of universe, black and white. And the hilarious thing is, his world is black and white compared to ours. It's not just he sees it as black and white. So like, there's a plot point where he takes a Rubik's Cube back with him at the end of the movie to his black and white universe, and it's still in colour, and he's like sort of hailed as a god because he's brought colour back into the black and white universe.
Yeah,
which I love.
He doesn't. Nobody understands it. That's the thing.
Nobody understands it.
I can't comprehend colour.
Yeah, how did he solve it? That's what I want to know.
Oh, yeah, he did at the end as
he
well.
He solves it at the very end, but if he can't, if
by
he doesn't,
chance.
It's
Nicolas Cage, did by accident.
Yeah, by pure chance. He spent like 8 months just solidly turning the Rubik's Cube. So then we have the final main Spider-Man or Spider-Girl. We have Penny Parker, who is
another one of my favourites.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, I think she's my favourite personally, but that's just because I'm a big weeb. She's the anime Spider-Girl, so she doesn't have spider powers, but she builds a spider mech. That she like swings around in, and
but there is a spider in it.
There is a spider inside it, and I can't remember the exact backstory behind it, but I remember it being really cute and touching.
So yeah, something about her dad.
Yeah,
I believe.
And she's great as well. She's sort of. Oh, we forgot about the comic relief. Spider.
Oh, I didn't forget. I thought you wait until the end.
No, I completely forgot about him. He completely slipped my mind.
Forget about Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham. Bitten by a radioactive pig.
The spider was bitten by a radioactive pig.
There is no human in him whatsoever. He was a spider that was bitten by a radioactive pig, and now he's like an anthropomorphic cartoon. He's a Looney Tunes character. It's
amazing because his weapon of choice is an oversized mallet.
Yeah, exactly. And I love him as well. Now all the scenes with him in are coming back now. Now that I remember him. Solid movie. The characters work really well together in this. They all have very different personalities. You've got Miles, who's sort of the enthusiastic one. Then you have obviously Peter Parker. I mean,
then later on, he actually gets like a character development because stuff's going down.
Yeah, his narrative does mirror Peter Parker's. I don't think we'll spoil it. I think I've spoiled it enough by saying that, so I can go further in that his uncle does die, and that is what sort of propels him on the path to being a hero. But it's I don't know. I prefer the Uncle Aaron thing to the Uncle Ben thing. I think personally, I feel like
we forgot to make a reference to Spider-Man 3.
They make a reference to Spider-Man 3 in the beginning of the movie. The dance, the infamous scene where in Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire stops acting and just starts acting like himself, and doing all the weird, like, cringy dance moves and stuff.
Yep. And by word for word, Peter Parker says, and I even did this, cuts to him doing the dance.
But it's animated. It's animated.
Yeah, they fully animate it with him doing it instead of the Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And then he just says, we don't talk about that.
It's hilarious. It's so good. And I love, and it is sort of taken in like a meta sort of standpoint in that the comics are comics and the movies are movies in this universe. The fact it's like it's sort of like The Boys in that they made movies about these characters because they're super famous. It's not that they're fictional; it's that they're really famous and everyone knows about them. So, yeah, and surprisingly emotional. I think I wasn't. I wasn't expecting it to be that emotional. It was a gut punch when I first watched it. There were so many scenes that I think a certain death scene actually nearly had me on the edge of tears, I think.
Also, the father-son talk.
The father, yeah, that got
pretty
me.
real. Got me kind of big.
The main villain, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. Big boy. He is a
probably seen him in the memes of Markiplier's face.
There's a lot of memes about him. He is a loaf in that movie. I remember in the trailer where there's like he's talking and like it's all black except for his face. Like the background is completely black. I thought he was just like talking in a dark room, but then in the actual movie, it's revealed that the entire frame is his body, and he's just wearing a black suit.
It's overly characteristic, and I love it.
Yeah, and and I like where they went with him because in the comics, the Kingpin is still huge, but it's all muscle. Like he's just a powerhouse, and a lot of people have said that doesn't make sense. Even if your body was made completely of muscle, you wouldn't be that big. And they sort of make reference to that in Spider-Verse, where he's not that good in a fight. There is a fight scene at the end where he fights all the Spider-Men, and they basically just demolish him.
Then Miles gets the cool superpowers, but we don't talk about that yet.
Yeah.
Can't do it on command.
He can't do it on command. Yeah.
He's got other stuff. No, I don't. Just got those things.
It's so good.
It's all the characters just bounce off of each other. Great personalities, each individual motives, great, and they each just have their own personalities. They feel like people.
Yeah, and I know, I don't really want to get too deep into the comics, but in the comics, Miles Morales is from Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, so he's from the Ultimate Universe, and he, like in the movie, he takes over as Spider-Man after Peter Parker is killed. And I love how they use the Ultimate Comics version of the Green Goblin in the movie. For like
he's like an actual goblin.
Yeah, for the brief bit that he's in it, he's amazing. I really like that design of Green Goblin.
True.
As opposed to the Spider-Man 1 Green Goblin where he looks like a Power Ranger.
You and I also have different, Spider-Man.
Back to formula.
I wonder how much I've sacrificed for this company.
He's great. No, he's great for a whole other different reason. Willem Dafoe in that movie.
Oh yeah, it's just Willem Dafoe. Yeah. I'm something of an actor myself.
But yeah, Green Goblin looks great. The way they've designed him in this movie. Doctor Octopus as well.
I like Doctor Octopus.
Yeah, Doctor Octopus, completely new design. That's not how he looks in the Ultimate Comics. I should say, because Doctor Octopus.
Let's not spoil it.
Yeah. Completely new design, very good, like very good. Yeah, she's cool in that movie. I really like her. Probably my favorite. I've never really been a huge Doctor Octopus fan myself, but that is my favorite version of Doctor Octopus.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
We can't. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is another good version of Doctor Octopus.
I love Doctor Octopus and Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Like genuinely,
he has that emotional core. Like. We'll talk about the Raimi films at some point. I'm sure we'll get around to it at some point.
I know we both have conflicting stuff. Yeah. So that'll be fun to talk about.
So Spider-Verse.
I'd say solid like 8.5 to 9.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I would give it a 9. I'd give it a 9.
Genuinely, watch it.
On Netflix, watch it. Please watch it. Please do it. I beg of you.
I am not a Marvel fan. I don't like superheroes, but I love that movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I know you really don't like superheroes. And if a film is that good, and if it's that good on its own without the superhero element, if it's just a good, well-made film, like it's got to be good. you know what
exactly. I mean? It's just give it a watch. It's
please
great.
Do. It's on Netflix. I think it's been on Netflix in the US for a while now. It's just dropped on Netflix UK.
It's gonna rewatch it.
Yeah. I need to rewatch it as well. I think I last watched it like a month ago or something. It's amazing. One of the best Spider-Man films made, I would say. It's better than both of Tom Holland's films. It's better than both of Andrew Garfield's films, although that's not hard. It's better.
Sorry, you caught me off guard there.
It's a point of contention with me personally because I just love the Raimi films, but it's certainly amazing.
It's a solid movie. Just cannot wait for the sequel.
Cannot wait for the sequel. Cannot wait for the spin-offs. We know, obviously, there's going to be a loads of new Spider-Men from different universes in the sequel.
Cannot wait.
It's been rumored that Spider-Punk is going to be in the sequel. I love Spider-Punk.
Tell me about Spider-Punk.
Yeah, the British sort of rocker Spider-Man who has a guitar.
Oh, some more UK.
Yes.
Whatchamacallit?
He has a mohawk. And he uses soundwave attacks from his electric guitar, which he carries on his back.
Oh, nah! Imagine the effects and visuals that will go on.
Exactly. And I think you can get a skin for him in Spider-Man PS4. I seem to remember where he has soundwave attacks. He's great.
Oh, yeah, no, I think I've seen that before.
He's great in that game. He has the leather jacket with the Union Jack on.
Yeah,
he's cool. He's super cool. What's confirmed for Spider-Verse 2? Is I'm really interested to see how they do this in an animated form. Because they've confirmed that the 1970s live-action Japanese Spider-Man is going to be in Spider-Verse 2.
Wow.
Now, if anyone, it's a very little-known Spider-Man show.
I think I've heard of it because I think I've seen clips of it, but I think that's all I've heard.
Yeah, it's very little known, and I'm glad. I've seen it. I've seen all of it. It's not very good.
I mean, it's from the 70s.
Yeah,
he has a mech.
He has a mech that's called Marvelor, and instead of swinging around the city, he just calls his mech, and it's like a Power Rangers Megazord. So it's the same style as Power Rangers Megazord, where he gets in the mech, but you can tell that the mech is just an action figure, but zoomed in, so it looks really big. Master filmmaking. So yeah, he's going to be in it. I hope he speaks in Japanese with subtitles. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. But and then half the movie is them saying, "Does anyone know what he's talking about?"
Yeah, exactly. I hope he's definitely going to be a comic relief character. I know that much.
Go on. You finish that, and I'll have something to say afterwards.
Yeah. I was just going to say he's definitely going to be a comic relief character because there's no way you can play something this absurd straight. They tried in the TV show and it's bad. So hopefully they learn. They seem to be self-aware with the Spider-Man 3 thing. So I hope they do. Sorry, go on, Dan.
Even more talking about self-aware, I forgot what they did.
Go on.
End credit scene. You know where they see the guy?
Yeah.
They did the pointing meme.
The Spider-Man from the 60s cartoon. Anyone who's been on social media knows the Spider-Man pointing meme, where there's two Spider-Men pointing at each other. It's a classic meme template. They make reference to it with Spider-Man 2099, who is also confirmed for Spider-Man 2, Spider-Verse 2, rather. And yeah, it's hilarious. It's so funny. One thing I will say, obviously he's in the end credits scene, but he's not in the movie. One thing, J. Jonah. We all know I love J. Jonah Jameson as a character. He's the best part about the Raimi films. I don't really like the Raimi films, but he's a blessing. He's a blessing. Yeah. I love him. He's going to be in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 3, the same actor as in the Raimi films, J.K. Simmons. So
cool.
Hopefully that'll be good. Hopefully he's in Spider-Verse 2, or some version of him. I would love to see a Spider Slayer, who is an alternate version of Spider-Man, who is J. Jonah Jameson, who's really funny.
A Spider Slayer, oh my god.
Well,
of course
I love him. He's funny. I hope he's in it. And yeah, Spider-Verse is great. I think we went on a little long with Spider-Verse, but we're just talking about how good it is.
Good.
Yeah.
It's too good. It's too good.
So, to close off the first episode of the Weeb Couch, we're going to move over to a little bit of news. I won't take too long on this because we're already getting long. So, a bit of gaming news first. Something that I would give a cackle, an insidious cackle of glee. Ever since it launched 2 months ago, the play count for Marvel's Avengers has dropped by 96%.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I to be honest, I completely forgot about that game. That's how bad it is.
I despise the game. I despise it.
Oh my god!
It's barely a game. It's just
that bad.
It's just avid. It's just here. Pay £50 for this game. Yeah, now pay 50 more in microtransactions. If it, at least I know there are things online of people spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this game.
Wow.
Because it's just so microtransaction heavy, it's so grind heavy. It's sort of like Destiny, but at least in Destiny you could get things by playing the game.
Yeah, I know, and that's saying something. Cause I know you don't like Destiny.
I really don't like Destiny, but
so that's saying something.
I don't like the model of Destiny, but the Avengers game is just so much worse. It's such an insult. I think that's what it is. It's an insult because it asks for so much of you, when it should just ask you to play the game. And yeah, it's just a bad design game anyway. There are tons of bugs, tons of flaws. Cosmetics that you can buy have stat changes, so it's pay to win.
What?
Yeah.
That's like the one thing you don't do.
Yeah, that's the antichrist of games.
But at least with Destiny it makes sense because it has level progression like that. Because the whole point is that you grind to get better gear.
Yeah,
but
and I know Fortnite.
Like
Fortnite gets a bad rep. You know, a lot of people. It's cool to clown on Fortnite. Yeah, recently for good reason. You know, it's a bad game, but they do cosmetics right.
No,
they do nothing. They do nothing.
Okay. That's the only thing that you can say about the cosmetics.
Yeah,
they're overpriced.
They are overpriced.
And I hate the constant market change.
That's why,
it gives incentive to buy it.
Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into Fortnite, but at its core, I think that Fortnite is a well-designed game, and I think that if they took away all of the advertising and marketing, it would be a fun game.
Season one, I was playing. I enjoyed the game because you didn't have speed builders. There were no skins.
There was no greasers. There were no greasers in the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I haven't played the game in at least a year because I haven't had the incentive. Nobody plays it.
Yeah.
Except for people who are 9 and people have spent too many hours to stop playing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hate that. That's not what a game should turn into.
Yeah. So moving away from Avengers, it's a trash game.
Yeah, everybody saw it coming.
Yeah. Actually, moving on to Fortnite, there is some Fortnite news.
Oh God.
Yeah, get ready to groan a lot louder. Fortnite is considering making the game a monthly subscription. There it is.
God.
So
you make a game no. Hey, we're Epic Games. Give us your money.
Exactly. And yeah,
that is disgusting.
Epic Games is quickly turning into the new EA. Obviously, nothing is going to be as bad as EA, but Epic Games is getting there. You know, they're because obviously for the few people who don't know, Fortnite is free at the moment. It's free to play, and it has been since it launched.
Pretty much, yeah. The only paid part is the PvE.
The single player bit. It's not single player.
It's not single player.
The PvE, which I've never played and I have no desire to play.
It's just Fortnite without people.
Yeah.
And if you want to play it, just wait until Halloween.
Yeah, because
because they do it.
They pretty much copy it in the free version.
Yeah.
But, and the Epic Games are considering, it's not confirmed, and I doubt it will happen considering the massive amounts of backlash they've gotten off it. They're considering introducing a monthly subscription, so you have to pay monthly to play Fortnite, and if you cancel, then you no longer have access to the game.
That's disgusting.
There's a lot of questions, like if you cancel, do you keep all your cosmetics? If the game
thousands wasted.
Yeah, exactly. And if the game moves to pay to play, and you don't want to, and you've played the game for free, but you've spent money on cosmetics, do you get that money back? Knowing Epic Games, probably not.
Since you only get three refunds.
You get 3 refunds. That's such an awful idea. I've always hated that idea.
How's about you just let us refund it?
Yeah.
Because it's not harming you. We don't get the skin anymore. So what's the point in having only 3?
Yeah. And that's not even 3 purchases. That's 3 items.
Yeah, it's
so say if you're a parent and your 9-year-old who loves Fortnite has stolen your credit card and has bought like 20 skins costing you like hundreds of dollars, you can only get 3 of them paid back.
That's ugh.
Yeah. It's not 3 purchases, whereas a purchase can be multiple items. It's just 3 items.
I hate it. I hate them. Somehow hate them more so than I already did.
Some more positive news. I know you'll like this, Dan, because you're a much bigger fan of the series than I am. Halo 4 is hitting PC next week as part of the Master Chief Collection.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's cool. It's good. Obviously,
Halo 4.
Yeah, Halo 4 is the worst one of the original games.
Yeah,
but it's still I still enjoy. It was the first Halo I played, so I think that's
it was what introduced me. Just because I got on Xbox 3 with my Xbox 360, so I was there like, I didn't have any. I didn't, get any. But obviously, that's introduced me to much better Halo games since I own the Master Chief Collection already.
Yeah,
and I love. I've played through the original, and the original is already better.
Exactly.
Halo 4, but it's still nostalgic. That's still positive because it's adding on to the Master Chief Collection, which I think is a really good investment.
It's a brilliant investment. Like you can get it on Steam now for like 30 quid, and that's £30. That's for 4 full games,
and more to come.
Yeah, with updated graphics as well.
Yeah,
like, with next gen graphics.
Can with a Switch, and I love this with at least Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah.
Much of a button.
I know
can
what you're
swap
gonna say.
between different versions of the graphics. Obviously, I play with the original ones because I prefer that. I prefer the minimalistic look.
Yeah.
But that's not even needed.
Yeah. It's just like we were talking about with Jurassic World. It's just effort, and that's the best thing in a game when you see the effort that's been put in.
Yeah. You can see the love that they have for this game,
exactly.
and the fact that you can, when you boot it up, it asks you which version you want to boot up, either the normal version or the one that allows you to put mods in. They know.
They know about the modding scene on especially Halo 2, because Halo 2 had like huge mods. All the Halo games have been modded to hell.
Exactly. I would, if you like to look at Halo mods, I would highly recommend a YouTuber called Inferno Plus.
Yes, he does very good modding videos.
Yeah, it's hilarious, and he made the Mario Battle Royale game, which Nintendo then shut down and then made a worse version of.
Yeah, Nintendo sued him, shut the game down, and then brought it out as a game that can only be played by people who do the monthly subscription. So yeah, cool, good, nice one, Nintendo. We love you, really.
But
be as good as you were years ago. Like, not even years ago, a year ago. Just be that Nintendo again, please. Anyway, so yeah, this is good. Obviously, nobody knows what's going on with Halo Infinite at this point.
Which is sad because I love Halo.
It's gonna be months, if not like a year, until it comes out, and
it's so depressing because I was
all honesty, it's probably not going to be good. Judging by the reveal we saw, which was really, really lackluster.
Like, obviously, people make fun of the graphics, and then I was like, yeah,
the graphics look like Xbox One graphics. This is meant to be a Series X showcase.
I mean, I guess maybe this will help it.
I hope so.
But, I'm keeping my hopes high, because Halo 5 was such a disappointment, so I'm hoping that it is, because they even gave Master Chief the old Halo 3 unit, like, gear, so I'm just like, ugh, and the new grapple hook looks fun to play around with.
Fun. I'll admit that. I just love grappling hooks in games. I just enjoy that mechanic. So, it's one of the many reasons I love the Arkham games. It's just the grappling is so fun.
Oh yeah, because you can put it into a glide.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm keeping my hopes high, but I'm not going to be surprised if it is bad. But if it is good, then
then
always
it's good.
Always good to have it.
Yeah, I'll play it if it's good. I won't play it if it's bad. I know you'll probably play it either way because you love the franchise.
I want to try. I want to at least try it for myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be at least playing all the games, so I want to have a good representation. Yeah. And God, that just reminded me of Halo 4 multiplayer. Just
let's not get into that. Yeah.
Anyway, continuing.
Yes. More game news. Release date for Deathloop has popped up.
I've not heard of that.
Deathloop is an upcoming game from Arcane Studios, who are the developers of the Dishonored games. Some amazing games.
Dishonored games.
Yeah, some amazing games. This is their first, I believe, game since Dishonored 2 in like 2018. Dishonored 2 is an amazing game.
I need to play the Dishonored games.
Yeah, yes, you do. I love them both. One of the few stealth games I actually like. I don't usually like stealth games, but
yeah, that's the thing, because I actually like Assassin's Creed. So, you know, I probably do it.
So Deathloop, I keep wanting to say Death Note. Deathloop has been revealed to have been is going to be released in May 2021, and pre-orders have already been popped up. So I know you don't know what it is, Dan. Deathloop is a game where it's unclear whether it's going to be co-op, but you play as one of two assassins, and it's just picture Hitman in like a Dishonored setting, so sort of like a medieval steampunky-ish setting, where your goal is to assassinate a target. But the trick is, every time you die, you get sent back to the beginning of the level. That's what happens in most games. But what you've done in the level remains when you die. So you obviously the mechanics. What's going to happen? What a lot of people are thinking is going to happen is that you set stuff up in one life and then you die, so you can come back to it and like set things in motion, which I think like traps and stuff like that. So say if like your target is in one place, but you can't get to him, so you set up a trap at that place, and then when you die, you can go back and get him with the trap.
That makes sense.
A further twist is that, you know how I mentioned you are one of two assassins? The other assassin is trying to kill you the entire time.
I was gonna say, is this a sort of race to see who can kill the guy first?
It's not a race to who can see who can kill the guy first. I feel like if it does turn out to be local co-op, I feel like that's a mechanic that would be incorporated. But as it stands, if it's a single player game that you play against an AI assassin, they're trying to kill you. They don't really care about the target.
That sounds decent.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. And May. It's coming out in May for PS5, Xbox.
Are there trailers for it?
There's a gameplay trailer. There's a gameplay showcase.
I'll give that a look later on.
Yeah, go and check it out if you don't know what the game is. It looks really
I've never heard of that.
Pre-orders are already up. I wouldn't pre-order it now because the gameplay is still in alpha, so it may change. But it looks good. I think that's pretty much all of the the game news. Just that Phil Spencer's the head of Microsoft, and he said that he's the head of Xbox. He's not the head of Microsoft. Phil Spencer says that he's played quite a bit of Elden Ring. Elden Ring is the it's not Game of Thrones inspired. It's written by the guy who wrote Game of Thrones. Sort of Souls-like RPG that's good.
We heard anything?
We know nothing about. We know nothing
heard
about
anything
it.
from it? But have we heard anything from it?
No. Phil Spencer just says that he's played quite a bit of it. So that leads me to think that it's in alpha now. It's being tested.
Yeah.
Which is a lot closer to completion than anyone thought it would be.
Which means that we may get a little bit of a trailer.
We may get a trailer. We may get a trailer in spring, and if it's getting tested now, it may come out in 2021, which a lot of people were thinking it wouldn't. So that's cool. Obviously, that'll probably be out for Xbox, obviously, if Phil Spencer's playing it. I don't think it's an exclusive. I think it is coming to PS and PC as well. So that's going to be cool. A little bit of film news, a tiny bit of film news. The Halo TV show has resumed filming. This TV show was about to adapt the first game and the second game. Halo 1 and 2. Filming was put on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But it's returned. As of Wednesday, it has returned to filming and progressing normally.
I don't know
how to feel about it. It will be live action.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all we know about it. It's going to be live action. It's going to be adapting the first two games. I don't know if the cast has been announced. I haven't seen anything about the cast personally. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic because we all know video game films and video game TV shows, they're really good.
But yeah,
Halo has always had like a deep lore, like a deep story.
Yeah.
And I think that it would work well as a TV show.
We get to see is the Arbiter in Halo 2? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the Arbiter. Yeah, he's my favorite part about Halo 2. He is in, and I would love to see him in like
Oh no! Imagine that because
CG.
we're making it now, so the CG is gonna look sick.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you look at other sort of space shows that are out right now, like The Mandalorian. The CG is amazing.
So exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Even if the show is bad, at least it'll look visually pleasing.
Yeah, and
because I love the designs for some things.
We have 3 bits of Snyder Cut news.
Oh, sugar. Just myself for the content.
Yeah. Don't get too excited. There are no massive reveals yet. Well, there is sort of a massive reveal. So the first one is Zack Snyder, who obviously is the director of the Zack Snyder Cut of Justice League, which is his original vision for the film. I won't get into all that. It's a very long story. But that's coming out in 2022 on HBO Max. It's going to be a 4-part series, and each part is going to be an hour long. No, what am I talking about? 6-part series, and each part is going to be an hour long. So that's a lot of new content. That's like 3 or 4 hours of it's 3 or 4 hours of either completely new content or previously cut content that does already exist, but it wasn't in the cinema release of the film.
Yeah.
So Zack Snyder says, "I do know what happens." That's his quote. He says, "I do know what happens." So that tells us that the script is finished at least. The plot. I
was gonna say it's it will be a little bit concerning if the director himself didn't know what happened in the movie.
I think he's obviously teasing us with this. I think he's trying to say that the script is finished. The plot is all fleshed out and stuff. Our next, moving on from that, speaking of stuff that wasn't in the theatrical cut, Zack Snyder has also revealed a concept art of what Martian Manhunter is going to look like. Now, Martian Manhunter is a DC character, a member of the Justice League in the comics. He was not in the Justice League movie. He's a fan favorite character. He's a Martian, obviously. He has all of Superman's powers, but stronger, and he can shapeshift. And he's a very cool character. I really like him personally. He's going to be in Snyder Cut. The artwork for him looks really cool. I would implore you to go and look at that yourself. I
think I'm looking at it right now.
It's not a full image. It's just Zack Snyder. It's a picture on Zack Snyder's Twitter. He's holding his phone, and the sketch is on his phone. So if you want to see that, you should look at Zack Snyder's Twitter or just look around. I'm sure it's in like recent news.
Those cheekbones, though.
No, he looks like that in the comics. He's a very strong. He's a very defined figure. I think he's a very what's the word? He's a very distinguished figure. He holds himself with pride and stuff like that. Sort of like Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen, except he's not a jerk.
Oh wow! Oh wow! There's many different iterations of him.
Yeah, there's been a lot of concepts, but this most recent one is the one they're going with, and nice.
Yeah. All right. What else we got?
And I think that's it really for streaming news. Umbrella Academy has been confirmed for season 3. So that's just reassuring. That's just reassuring. Because a lot of shows are sort of we don't really know what's going to happen because of the pandemic and difficulty filming. There is rumors, highly unconfirmed rumors, that The Boys will have to be cancelled because of filming difficulties. They're hoping to start filming in February, but we'll see if they can achieve that. I hope they will, because The Boys is amazing and I love it.
I need to watch it. I don't think I have Prime though.
Yeah, you'll find it. You'll find it somewhere, I assume.
I'll find it legally.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it for game and film news. There's a little bit of anime news.
I think I know exactly what you're going to say for this anime news.
One, we've already talked about the Please Don't Bully Me Nagatoro anime being announced.
Yep.
Also, Beastars Season 2.
Oh yeah.
Beastars Season 2. Beastars is a very highly acclaimed anime that's on Netflix. It's sort of like Zootopia, the Disney film, but for adults.
Yeah, it's like
for adults, not for kids at all.
Yeah. It's furry.
Yeah.
But it's for a reason.
Yeah, it's for a reason.
So it gets a pass.
Yeah.
At least. Just
Go
like
and watch
Zootopia.
it. I won't talk too much about it. I'm sure we'll cover it at a later date.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Season 2, we'll cover it closer to Season 2 because Season 2 is coming out in January. So that's very close.
Wow. Yeah, definitely.
So we'll cover it closer to that time.
Yeah.
Also coming out in January, Seven Deadly Sins, Season 4 or 3? No, Season 4. Season 4.
It's 4.
Yeah, it is 4. Season 4 has been announced for January as well. I still need to see Season 3. I'm up to date on the manga.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's popular. That's the only reason I'm.
Yeah.
I have no special attachment to it personally. But if you like it, it's great. Yeah, that's fine. Studio Ghibli news. Obviously, we know the main guy, the head honcho at Studio Ghibli, Hayao Miyazaki, who has directed loads of the company's best-selling films. Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, all amazing films. That most of them are on Netflix, so you should definitely watch them. He's working on a film that does not have a release date. There is no trailer. It's called How Do You Live? It's based on a novel of the same name. That is going to be his last film for Studio Ghibli. This isn't the news, by the way. We already knew all this.
Well, I didn't know this, but that's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Well, he is like 80, so he deserves the retirement.
Yeah.
We love you, Miyazaki. Some of the best films ever made have come from Miyazaki.
Definitely.
He's amazing. And his son, Goro Miyazaki, not to be confused with the Mortal Kombat character, is directing. This is the news. Is directing Ghibli's first CG feature. Called Earwig and the Witch. It's based off a Japanese children's novel, which I have not read because I'm not Japanese or a child. It looks good. It looks good. I know when people think CGI anime, they think, oh god, no. We're thinking Berserk. We're thinking Berserk.
Old Ruby.
Yeah, we're thinking Old Ruby. We're thinking Berserk remake. This looks good though.
Does it?
Yeah. There's only an image been released right now, as far as I know. There may be a trailer.
What's it called?
Earwig and the Witch. It does look to be like a kid's sort of fantasy film. I know Ghibli sort of does lean into more adult themes in its films. This does seem to be aimed purely at children.
Oh wow! It's strangely CG, but you can see Ghibli style in it.
Yeah, and I think Goro Miyazaki has directed The Wind Rises, which is in my opinion the best Ghibli film, and Tales of Earthsea, which is in everyone's opinion the worst Ghibli film. So this could be a mixed bag. This could be either way, and I think this is sort of him trying to prove himself. If this film is good, he's sort of fit to take on the mantle, I guess, because when Hayao Miyazaki retires, it's going to fall onto Goro to become the new creative head of Ghibli, or just to retire Ghibli, and I don't think anyone wants that. So I hope Earwig and the Witch is going to be good.
Because I can see that the style is all Ghibli still. You can see it. For me, it will only work if they get the movements right.
Yes.
For the characters, because that's how I judge CG characters.
Yes, and I think we all know, at least from Berserk. I haven't seen Old Ruby, but from the Berserk remake, which I have seen. Oh god.
If it's jittery, then it won't be.
Why do the horses move like that though?
Let's not get into it.
So this comes out in Japan on December the 30th, New Year's Eve.
Wow,
isn't. It isn't New Year's Eve, Mason. It's not New Year's Eve. It's December 30th. So this is going to be. We don't know what this is gonna be. A trailer will probably drop soon, and I hope it looks good. And I think that's pretty much it. Apart from Attack on Titan manga, the Attack on Titan manga is getting a full colour collection once the manga is completed, and the creator has said the manga is 1 to 2% from completion, in his words.
Cool.
I know season 4 of Attack on Titan is coming out in like December, I think, or something. I've just finished season 1 myself.
Sweet.
So yeah, full colour, similar to what Toriyama did with Dragon Ball Z. He did a full colour serialization of that when that was finished.
Oof.
It looks perfect, I'm not gonna lie.
No, I know, but like the amount of work.
Yeah, the amount of colouring he would have to do, he did it all himself. Mad respect for Toriyama. Anyway, yeah, Attack on Titan is getting that full colour treatment.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped. Attack on Titan, the manga is good. It is good art style. The anime is also pretty good, but I would prefer the manga personally. And I think that's pretty much all we've got. This has been a long episode.
Well, it's first one. We got to make a start somehow.
Yeah, it won't be this long in future. Don't worry, guys.
Probably. No hopes. No
promises. We did get sidetracked a lot, but that's just because we're talking about stuff we're passionate about this week.
Yeah. We can always talk about something awful next week.
Yeah, if you want us to talk about something terrible, if you want us to just clown on something awful, then do tell us.
DM us, comment.
Yeah, DM us on Instagram, email us. If you're watching us on YouTube, comment. Our links will be in the description. If you're watching us on Spotify, there'll be our email will be in the podcast description. So get in touch if there's anything at all you want us to cover. If nobody gets in touch and our inboxes are barren wastelands, which is probably going to be the case, we'll just continue covering what we want and what's new and what's come out and stuff. But until then, unless you have anything to add, Dan.
Bugsnax.
Bugsnax. Don't get it on PS5.
Don't get Jurassic World on Switch.
Don't get Jurassic World on Switch. That's the life lesson you're taking away from this.
If you haven't learned anything, this has been completely useless to you, at least you'll have this knowledge to not get Jurassic World Evolution on Switch.
And hope you enjoyed this first episode of the Weeb Couch. Hope you're coming back next week to take a seat. New episodes every Sunday. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave comments, I've already said that. Follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff. You know how it goes. And I'm Mason. That's Dan, and until next time.